Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of Moonhaven Falls. The peculiar case of the town center gnomes continues to evolve with a strange new development at the barracks. While the mystery of who moved the garden gnomes to the fountain still remains unsolved, a more localized enigma has begun concerning the single unclaimed wizarding gnome. Guard members have reported that the wizard gnome, held for safekeeping following the mass relocation, is never spotted in the same place twice. We have tried securing him to the main desk, in an evidence locker, even in the staff lounge, reports Captain Alara Vancroft. Yet every morning he's found somewhere new. Yesterday he was perched atop the map cabinet. Today he was inspecting the coffee maker. The movement appears to be restricted solely to the lone wizarding gnome. The other gnomes, which were reclaimed by their owners but briefly held at the barracks, did not exhibit this behavior before their return. It's very baffling, Captain Vancroft added. We're checking on him periodically, but so far we haven't seen anyone moving him, and none of my staff have fessed up to doing it. We can only assume that the person who owns this gnome has a very unique sense of humor. Or perhaps the gnome itself possesses an unprecedented sense of wanderlust. The guard reiterates that while they are trying to determine if this is a secondary prank or merely a truly odd phenomena, their priority remains finding the gnome's owner.
Hey boss, I have next week's Crossroads Chronicles interview lined up for 3 this afternoon. It's Craig the Tinkerer from over by the Shadowfen ruins.
Ah, Timmy, I don't know what I'd do without you. You've just got a knack for finding the most interesting people. You know, I almost feel bad sending you out to do field interviews. Almost.
Is the field interview, sir, or the ones that are slightly dangerous?
Oh, Timmy, utter nonsense. You haven't even been hurt yet. And if I'm honestly concerned, we have Morwen now. So get in here and do some intern work.
Is it weird to how we broadcast everything from around town? Lord Kendrick really likes this reality content, huh?
Well, I mean, it's either that or court gossip. Ugh. Oh, don't give me that look. You really don't want to know. That or he wants to make sure his best and cheapest intern is still working. Now, do you know where my...
Hey, what's this? Whoa, someone taped something to the underside of my desk. Wait, is that our next letter from Lady F? Parchment? Same faint smell of rose and gunpowder?
Let me see that! Aha! I've been doing some digging into our mysterious Lady F. She said her family lives on an estate near the Dragonmaw Mountains, right?
You didn't contact her family, did you?
No, it's not that. I have this friend, Percival Peabody. He's an archivist. He did some digging, and he thinks he found the estate she's referencing, but it's a ruin at this point. It was destroyed over 100 years ago.
Wait a minute. If the estate was destroyed 100 years ago, she refers to living there as before. And it was still around the last time she saw it. That explains why 100 years is a minor setback. And that's why she's now getting bored. She's long-lived. It also explains why she was so bored when she got the crystal.
Yes! Oh, good work, Timmy! If she's elven, 100 years probably is only a minor setback. The important thing, though, is that makes her an ancient rebel. Now, does this elven heritage mean she hears me better when I suggest classic rock?
I hope she's doing better. I was a little sad, and we haven't been able to help her yet.
Well, let me see that letter, quick! She's upped her delivery game after all. Tower Girl is now a ninja correspondent. And look, somehow the crystal got switched on when we weren't looking. All right, let's see. To Timmy, the world's greatest detective/intern. From Lady F, the 53-year-old apprentice. Date, a glorious Tuesday morning, I think. Dearest Timmy, thank you for your commitment. I heard your last broadcast, and it was quite illuminating. The music choice, as always, was phenomenal. I used the rock piece to time my incantations this time, but your little discussion about my family's estate being ruined from over a century ago was confusing.
But, no, he only just now had a...
Yeah, hold on. Well, I admit I'm elven. I'm hardly an elder. 100 years is not a minor setback for me, as Audric so casually suggested. I'm only 53, Timmy. I'm not even an adult in the eyes of my people. I should still be under the direct supervision of my parents, which is why the entire locked away in a tower cliche is so frustrating. That being said, you are absolutely right. My father is, at least for the moment, the villain in my story. He is determined to marry me to some wannabe charming, probably wealthy, overindulged prince. When he left me here, he said I was too opinionated to marry up, and so he locked me in a tower to get me to cool my heels. He was likely unaware of the dusty, forgotten library that I found here, because I'm entirely certain that he did not intend for me to study the arcane. But, and this is important, I am making progress on escaping. This morning, I managed to cast a minor illusion of a giant, meaty bone floating just beyond the tower gate. I was really hoping it would distract Miss Scales, the dragon, long enough for me to try the rope ladder that I tied out of silk curtains. But, alas, she merely blinked, melted the illusion in a puff of smoke, and then went back to sunning on the battlements. She is proving frustratingly intelligent. Maybe next time I'll try the illusion of me running for the Ghost Iron Peaks. Hopefully that gets her chasing, me. Keep the news coming, and keep the music loud, too. Knowing you and your audience are listening is my one true connection to the world. With renewed hope, Lady F. Amazing. A 53-year-old rebel elf with a social climbing villain of a father and a dragon who would pass up on a meaty bone. Timmy, I wonder if you could land an interview with Miss Scales herself, wherever she is. Do you think that might make for a good distraction?
More dangerous field interviews. Besides, sir, we don't even know precisely where her tower is located. I'm really confused how Percival Peabody thinks he's got the real estate if Lady F isn't even 100 yet. The timeline is completely off.
Yeah, and her replying to a discussion we just had as though she heard it before we had it. There's shenanigans afoot, Timmy. Things like cause and effect can get really weird around magic under the right circumstances.
I think I'm gonna talk to Peabody and see if I can find a different lead on the mysterious timeline. Maybe he knows something about elven records.
Good luck, Timmy. Bring back results, or at least a story about dodging fiery breath or something. Remember, people love reality content. I'd be lost without that boy. Well, for those of you at home or locked in a tall tower awaiting a charming young intern, please stay tuned as this most interesting mystery plays out for us. And I do hope we get a happy ending. I do like happy endings, especially happy endings that involve exclusive interviews with reformed draconic jail wardens. Lady F, something odd's going on here. You'd probably better double-check your formulas before you send your next letter. Well, this is Audric Cashmere with the Crystal Network. G'day, plunderers, prospectors, and purveyors of peril. You are tuned in to the Dungeon Delver's Report, compiled by the scribes of Lord Pernatius Kendrick, and brought to you by the Fellowship of the Gilded Pen. Now let's get straight to the updates that matter, where the treasure is, and what's guarding it. Starting out at the crypt of the Silent Council on the southern coast, I am afraid that we have some bad news there, folks. That cleared status we gave the place 3 weeks ago has been revoked. The crypt's guardians have undergone a major population resurgence. The initial clearing only seems to have disturbed the primary nest, and the Crimson Blade's recent recon and recovery mission was in fact a stunning failure, suffering 6 casualties after encountering a new blade of Spectral Night. Much, much tougher than the standard ghoul fare. This is not considered a quick raid any longer. Now switching to a success story from the Sunderstone ruins in the northern wastes, the intrepid adventurers of the Arcane Anvil have officially posted a successful expedition from the Sunderstone ruins. They not only recovered the legendary Eye of the Gorgon artifact, netting them a cool 5,000 gold from the Royal Antiquarian Society, but they have confirmed that the central chamber of the ruins is, for the moment, cleared. I do expect smaller groups will be picking the fringes for the next few weeks, but the main prize is now gone, and the main threat subdued. So, good on you, Anvil. And speaking of prizes, let's talk about coin, shall we? The Crown has just hiked up the bounty for the creature known as the Caustic Crawler residing in the lower sewers of the ruins of Dranth. The monstrous acid-spewing centipede is now worth 800 gold coins, dead or captured. But be warned, standard steel armor is proving basically useless against the spray. Bring reinforced scale or magical wards, folks. That is a high price, but it is also a high risk. Moving on to the sunken vault of Kelthar off the coast of the exasperated Sighs. Things are getting wet and wild down in the vault. The Sea Dogs Guild, the ones that specialize in the brine and bazaar, have just announced a partial success. Their expedition managed to map the entire second level and retrieve a crate of enchanted coral weaponry. However, the final, deepest levels remain firmly uncleared. Their advance was halted by a massive armoured sea horror that they have dubbed the tidal Leviathan. The Leviathan is currently classified as the dominant threat, and if you're heading in, you'd best pack some serious deep-sea breathing gear and do not try to take on the Leviathan yet, not without at least a gold-ranked team backing you up anyway. Far too hot to handle for anything but a full-scale assault crew. Moving northwest of the realm, the ancient defences of the Red Hand Pass near the Ghost Iron Peaks is technically cleared of the goblin infestation that plagued it last month. The local watch put out a few hefty bounties, and a band of mercenary veterans cleared house beautifully. But, and this is a big but, while the goblins are gone, whispers have now started about an artifact boundary somewhere in the pass. The Brotherhood of the Shadowed Silver Scroll are now offering a staggering 2,000 gold pieces for the recovery of a simple-looking map case called the Gleaming Cartouche. Supposedly no monsters, just a treasure hunt against other adventurers, but you know how these things tend to go. They promise a clean sweep and it always seems to end in bloodshed, so keep your shields and healing potions handy. Well, that's it for this cycle, friends. Remember, knowledge is power, and knowing whether you need a full siege engine or just a sturdy lockpick can be the difference between that golden payday and an unmarked grave. So, go out there, make some coin, and try not to get eaten. This has been Morwen Brightseen with the Dungeon Delvers Report. Good afternoon to you, my Raj and Rani, my Vangarians and Janissaries. A jaunty salute to the potters, the bards, the truth seekers, and the citizens from all walks of life here in the Lost Realms. Welcome back to Crossroads Chronicles, where we seek out the most unique and harmonious enterprises across the Lost Realms. Tonight we're stepping into a world of grace, of discipline, and of surprising unity. Forget your typical Dwarven forge or mine. We are about to witness a spectacle of movement and artistry unlike any other. Tonight, we delve into the captivating world of the Unlikely Steps, a one-of-a-kind ballet troupe with a truly remarkable philosophy. Let's draw back the curtain on this extraordinary endeavor, shall we? We have arrived at what appears to be a modest yet meticulously maintained rehearsal hall. Sunlight is streaming down through high windows, illuminating the dust motes dancing in the air. The walls are adorned with sketches of elegant poses and inspirational quotes etched in both Dwarvish rune and a flowing elven script. And there, in the center of the room, guiding a truly diverse group through intricate movement, stands our host, a dwarf with a surprisingly graceful bearing. Joining us today is Boren Stonefoot, the visionary founder and surprisingly agile director of the Unlikely Steps. Boren, thank you for allowing us a glimpse into your unique world.
Aye, friend, welcome. May your steps be light and your spirit bright. It warms me beard to share the fruits of our unconventional labor.
And unconventional is certainly a word for it, Boren. A Dwarven-run ballet troupe is already intriguing, but I understand your company has a very specific and rather inclusive philosophy when it comes to its members.
Indeed it does. The Unlikely Steps is founded in the belief that grace and artistry reside within all peoples, regardless of race or perceived proclivities. As such, our troupe adheres to a singular principle: one member of each of the major sentient races of the realms.
One of each? Now that's an idea. Can you introduce us to your current members? Perhaps explain the reasoning behind this unique structure?
With pride, with pride. First here is Falling Leaf Cloudlight, our elf. Her movements are like the wind through the leaves, fluid, ethereal, possessing an innate grace that centuries of elven heritage seem to bestow. Over here we have Broken Rock Floatstone, our half-orc. Oh, don't let her imposing physique fool ya. Her strength translates into powerful, grounded movements, adding a unique dynamicism to our performances. Next, we have Phalian Moonwhisper, our tiefling. His fiery spirit and natural theatricality bring a passionate intensity to his dance. Over here is our human performer, Maria Bladebane, whose adaptability and improvisation are second to none. And finally, our creative genius, Nimbleheart Trapspringer, our halfling, whose agility and playful energy add a very delightful lightness to the ensemble.
A truly diverse group indeed. But why this specific limitation of one member per race?
Well, the realms are often fractured by misunderstanding and prejudice. I envision the Unlikely Steps as a microcosm of what could be, a place where different strengths and perspectives harmonize to create something truly beautiful. Falling Leaf's elegance, Broken Rock's power, Phalian's passion, Maria's adaptability, Nimbleheart's precision. Each brings a unique flavor to our art. It's a testament to unity through diversity.
And that is a powerful message conveyed through art. But practically speaking, how does such a different physique and physiology, such widely varied natural inclinations, translate into a cohesive ballet?
That is the challenge and the joy. My training methods are adapted. Phalian's natural flexibility allows for breathtaking extensions, while Broken Rock's strength enables lifts and holds that would be impossible for others. Falling Leaf's innate understanding of dramatic expression infuses her movements with raw emotion, and Nimbleheart's low center of gravity and relative light weight allows for aerial movements you would normally need magic to pull off. That, and Maria's agile footwork and ability to harmonize with and even substitute with the others ties at various times the whole dance together. We don't try to force them into a single mold. We celebrate the differences. We weave them into a harmonious whole.
Now that sounds incredibly demanding, both for you as the director and for the dancers themselves.
Oh, aye. Requires immense dedication and understanding from all of us. There are always adjustments, but the rewards, the moments when they move together as one, a tapestry of different forms and energies flowing together. It's a magic that doesn't need outside power. It's pure. It's simple.
Have you faced any skepticism or challenges from the wider world regarding your unconventional troupe?
Oh, plenty. Many a patron's raised a skeptical eyebrow at the sight of a half-orc in a tutu. Some dismiss it as novelty. But when the music starts, and they witness the passion and the skill of these performers, most are silenced. This art transcends prejudice. It speaks directly to the heart, regardless of race or background.
And what are some of the stories or ballets that Unlikely Steps has brought to life? Do you adapt traditional tales or create your own narratives that reflect your unique ensemble?
A bit of both. We've staged a stirring rendition of Swan Lake, but our original works often explore themes of interspecies cooperation and understanding. One of our most acclaimed pieces, The Boundless Bridge, tells the story of different races overcoming their differences to build a lasting alliance, with each dancer embodying the spirit of their people.
That sounds quite moving. What do you hope audiences take away from a performance by the Unlikely Steps?
I hope they learn to see beyond the surface, beyond the scales, or the tusks, or the horns, or the pointed ears. I hope they all see the shared humility, the dedication to beauty, the power of unity. If a dwarf and an elf and a half-orc and a tiefling and a halfling and a human can all move together in harmony on a stage, then perhaps, just perhaps, the rest of the realm can find a way to do the same.
That is a truly inspiring vision. Born Stonefoot, The Unlikely Steps seems far more than just a ballet troupe. It's a testament to the power of inclusivity and the unifying language of art. Thank you for sharing your extraordinary story with us here on Crossroads Chronicles.
The honor was mine, friend. May your own steps be filled with grace and understanding. And perhaps come see a performance sometime. You might find yourself surprised.
And that was Born Stonefoot, proving that harmony can be found in the most unexpected of combinations, and that art has the power to bridge even the widest of divides. This has been Audric Cashmere on the Crystal Network. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Audric Cashmere with a breaking news report. Panic has quietly begun spreading through our usually tranquil community following the sudden disappearance of local eccentric Gary and 3 young members of his children's group, the Totally Awesome Adventuring Guild, formerly known as the Super Fun Times Adventure Force. The group had apparently been planning a Great Forest Expedition for this weekend, an event which has now been indefinitely postponed. Gary, a resident of the local Whispering Caves approximately 5 miles northeast of town, has long been a figure of fascination and suspicion. He was last seen yesterday afternoon with 3 children, 8-year-old twins Liam and Lucy, and 9-year-old Sam, near the entrance to the Blackwood Forest. Townfolk, who have long been critical of Gary's unconventional children's group, are now feeling their worst fears have been realized.
"I knew it,"
said an elderly resident who wishes to remain anonymous.
"He was always planning some wild scheme. Talked about seeking ancient artifacts and unlocking the secrets of the cosmos. Ha! Thought it was just a playful ruse for the children, but it was a cover. This was his plan all along, you mark my words."
However, not everyone shares this grim view. Sally Jinks, 10-year-old member of the Adventuring Guild and a close friend of the missing children, expressed her disbelief.
It's not like Gary to just disappear,
she told us, tears welling in her eyes.
He promised he wouldn't leave until we found the lost treasure of the Lumina Caverns. We were just getting close. He wouldn't have just gone.
The Moonhaven Falls Guard, backed by a recently arrived nomadic Khajiit family, the Law Clan of the Long Claw, has initiated a search and rescue operation in the Blackwood Forest. They are asking for anyone with information regarding Gary or the missing children to come forward as quickly as possible. A big thanks to you, ladies and gentlemen. This concludes our episode for the week. We release a new episode every Tuesday morning at 5 a.m. Eastern, and I hope you found this podcast amusing, enjoyable, and entertaining. If you did, I would appreciate it if you would please pop over to Facebook or Patreon and let me know what you enjoyed and what you didn't enjoy. Knowing what my listeners like and dislike is invaluable in determining how the show will progress. To everyone who's taken a moment to listen, could I ask a small favor? If you could take a moment to rate this podcast, maybe share it with a friend or a community, and leave a comment with your thoughts, I would very much appreciate it. You taking a brief moment to let others know that we're worth listening to by rating us or commenting is a free, simple action, and spreading the word about my weekly podcast would also be of a great help to me personally. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel or follow the podcast. It's another simple action that lets the algorithm know that you listened to and want to continue hearing these stories. If there's anyone out there who would like to directly invest in the future of my work, please explore our community on Patreon. I personally write, edit, and produce all of the content for this show, and if you want to buy me a cup of coffee per month as encouragement to continue doing so, I gratefully accept. Thank you to all of our new and returning supporters. My family and I genuinely appreciate all of you showing your support by tuning in every week, and we would like to thank you for continuing to do so. I look forward to seeing all of you in the comments, and I hope you tune in again next week.